Virgo, hello and welcome to your weekly reading for the week of August 24th through to the 31st. I want to start this off with an affirmation. I matter because I matter to me. Write that in the comments, write that in your journal, affirm it out loud. One of my teachers says affirming it 3 times aloud activates the DNA, it activates our cells, and it starts a series of events that actually do conspire in behalf of our greatest good. The Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell volunteered itself, so I'm going to pull 5 from here, and we will get some clarification cards for the week ahead. So this week, the sun, we're in Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. I hope that you all are finding that your reality just needs a little fix, a little pivot here and there, a little dusting, a little polishing off. Some energetic cleansing feels pertinent. Water codes. Ancient wisdom, the intelligence is within you. So you all are going to have to get really dialed in this season, this semester. I just got confirmation from a Virgo that was like, I was like, let's release this, release some tears. And perhaps that's something that you guys might want to do. I also cleaned off my altar spaces. So Virgo, if you don't yet have an altar space, I advise you print out some images, you get some photos of your ancestors, maybe if you don't know who they are directly, what they look like, maybe the flag of the country that they represent, something to honor your lineage, because we are here to heal. If you're tuning into my work, we're here to heal our lineage. That's been a big thing that I have been on. So this is one of my favorite cards. It's the Pink Dolphin card, Celebration Fun, Unbridled Joy and an Open Heart. This woman is surrounded by pink dolphins. And for my masculine energies, just know that that's your creative intelligence. The divine feminine and divine masculine are 2 parts of us. And Virgo, you all are actually, so many things are pointing towards Virgo being both divine masculine and divine feminine. And if you have any Pisces in your life, they can reflect back to you maybe what might need balancing or what to do if you feel stuck. So call a Pisces if you need to get into that unbridled joy state. So we have the sirens, use your voice, expansion and freedom. Some of you all might need to start working on your voice, singing, taking some singing lessons. There is this online course that I took. It's called Singing in Paradise, where my voice coach, he recorded in various locations on Maui. And if you all want to check out your astrocartography, that can actually be super beneficial to see what lines are activated out here in the Hawaiian Islands, as well where that planet, so the planetary ruler of that line. So say you have a Mars line out here. Right now, Mars is in Gemini. So you would look for Gemini in your chart. And if that's in like your 5th house, then you really do belong taking some kind of approach to communication that can help it to get out. Even if that's like a coding boot camp or something, like if people are still into doing that. I tried it and I was like, I can't do this, but to each their own. We have the Wellspring. What are you thirsty for? Body care. Take a breath. Take 3 breaths, Virgo. We all know that you guys are the healers. You all are the temple keepers, which is why I'm going to advise that you all get an altar. And if it's not going to have your ancestors on it, if you're still healing some karma around your lineage, make sure that it has your favorite things. Make sure you've got a collection of something that you love and adore and cherish. Or maybe it's something that you once did, because we're still in that Mercury retrograde period up until the 28th. Mercury stations direct, but it's not out of shadow until September 11th. So we need to make sure that we are returning to old projects. Maybe there's something that you want to do, like if you want to have a podcast or something, and you have all of the equipment, set it up on your altar. And for this new moon, you don't even have to start now. You just get the energy acclimated to where you're taking things, new projects, new ideas that were something that you maybe abandoned in the past. The energy wasn't set up on the right foundation. And I was just looking at Bella Hadid. Let's get these cards. Ride the wave. Life lessons and growth. You will get through this. Not only will you get through this, but look at her. She is like trance dancing in the middle of the surf with all these fish around her, which is definitely a reason to call it Pisces. But Bella Hadid, I don't know her birth chart. I haven't looked it up yet, but she has her fragrance company, and she just shared that she got a reading from an astrologer to give her business a reading. So it's something to where for my Virgos, we do have a lunar eclipse on September 17th. So eclipses are cutting energy, and the next full moon we're going to have is October 17th in Aries, so that's a time of release. But I do believe that on this September 2nd new moon, it's a great time to seed intentions, even if it's like you write out a list of, this is just the podcast example, 10 shows that you want to have in your first season. And from there, it's something that you can either just do as you feel good about it, because we're wanting to make sure that as Virgos, we are bringing in the energy that will match our heart and show us a mirror reflection in reality. And as the sun is in your sign, you all are getting a check-in with the sun. I was listening to Unveiled Mysteries by Saint Germain, and he was speaking about gold and how it grows inside of the earth like a plant. And it's so beautiful to think about. And this book is absolutely, I found the audiobook on YouTube, absolutely worth diving into. It's going into my nightly routine now, because in the sleep state, before I go to bed, the past 2 nights I've been affirming, it's something I did like 2 years ago. Nightly, I would visit the fifth dimensional etheric city in Mount Shasta and work with Saint Germain. And I did that for 90 days, but I wasn't sober. I was still consuming cannabis. So now that I'm sober and I started it again, like this morning, I was out of bed. It's 8 o'clock here, and usually I can be a little groggy in the morning if I'm just sort of like hanging out in the astral. But I actually am intentional in those 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which I did a little bit of research with a neurologist, and it takes about 7 hours for our brain to drain basically all of the cerebral spinal fluids that needs to exit our system, which is why maybe if some of you all are like me, a little sinusy and nasally in the morning, it's that stuff is coming out. And it's what is being taken in as far as the nutrients go. Maybe as we're decalcifying our pineal gland, there are things that are exiting our system. So we just need to be able to set ourselves up for success with intentional work in the sleep state, waking up feeling refreshed so that we have the motivation to get outside, go on that jog, take those extra steps in our day to make sure that our body is able to release. You hear me a little sinusy now. Our body's able to release what it has been allowing to detach from the system and exit. Metamorphosis, embrace transformation. Things are now different. And both Neptune and Saturn are retrograde. So Kali, she's like, take me, I'm ready. So let's get some clarification. With the water codes, it came up for me this morning to get a structured water filter system. We have Bhairavi Yogini with the lotus underneath this skull with the root chakra color. Chamunda, she destroys demons, so she's coming with the pink dolphin. Whatever inner demons or inner restrictions you might have, it could be around your ancestry, because that came up. She's here to help you break through that and to destroy it. And I sense that maybe taking baths, spirulina is coming up for me. Taking spirulina in your day, making sure that you add it to your smoothie, or chlorella is something that's really easy to take. It's in liquid form, and it's something that turns your tongue green. It's really fun. With the sirens, we have Krishna, use your voice, expansion, and freedom. And it's interesting that Krishna is coming with it's a two-headed Kali, and there are 3 sirens on this card. And it's like, it's giving that there's going to be maybe some sort of collaboration or some sort of meeting. But you see how there's water and fire? Maybe for those of you guys who have a water Venus placement, you'll meet someone with a fire Venus placement, and it's going to be this beautiful quincunx energy that allows for you guys to grow. Or a square. I think that's a square. But squares actually make us grow. It's like taking the scenic route, and then you end up having to bicycle through forest, and then you have to fly a plane, and then, swim with a dolphin. It's a lot more fun. And fun is something that I sense you guys are ready for, because to have Jupiter and Mars, Jupiter and Mars in Gemini. For Virgo, this is your house of career and legacy. So it just feels like maybe your fatherly figure is someone who encouraged you to have fun, and you're remembering ways to do that. So I would suggest you guys get an image of him on your altar, even if you weren't raised by your biological father, maybe a father figure who is supportive. If you don't have one, consider someone now who is a supportive masculine figure. You don't have to get their picture on their altar, but maybe if they are like a mentor or someone who you can call upon, you can write something kind about them, or like things that they've allowed for you to reflect on that have brought out more self-love in you, because you will always, Virgo, draw to you your equal, your vibrational match. It's just law of attraction with Virgos. It's physical, it's real. We have Devi Ma Kali with the Wellspring. What are you thirsty for? Body care. Take a breath. Take a breath like it's your first breath. And also, I have to tell you guys about the breath of life. It's something that, for those of you guys who found me through Human Garage, because I've been sharing my content on there, the breath of life is something I learned from Spirit Science. They're a channel on YouTube. It's like cartoons about spirituality. Really well done productions. I watch it with my stepdaughters. The breath of life is saying and affirming, I love you, I honor you, I trust you, and I value you. And I do that during the maneuvers, and it's amazing. Like, I'm a splenic projector, so I will actually be activating my spleen with those affirmations. And, you know, as I'm removing and detoxing from my gallbladder or my stomach, as it's Virgo season, we have to be very mindful of what we're putting into our system and our body, and that it's being consumed with joy, that unbridled joy, and that we're destroying any demons that might have been restrictive around pleasure or food. I've had an eating disorder in my life, but working through that and being able to do fast and being very attentive to my tendencies to want to deprive myself of nutrients or deprive myself of pleasure. Even last night I had a dream that I was eating some kind of ice cream. So today, as my stepdaughters are returning from their summer abroad, I decided to have a piece of cake for breakfast, because when we honor our dreams, like our actual sleeping state dreams, in our real life, our physical dreams, our physical reality moves forward. This is coming from my dream coach locally. Her dream coach was Robert Moss, like that's the lineage of her teachers. So he has Dreaming the Soul Back Home, another great book that I want to plug my Virgos on. Ride the Waves has Chinamasta. This is giving me the end to a way of thinking. We are taking off, I think, even like a limitation on what our passion can allow for us to do. Maybe, Virgo, you guys have been really repressed in passion. I would even say and suggest that if you've attracted a partner, a job, a situation where you can't express yourself, you're not getting what you want, we have to look at the gender of this person. So if you have a female boss who constantly criticizes your work, it's never good enough, you can't do enough, or you have a masculine partner who won't take things to the next level, we have to look at where in us, that feminine aspect of creativity, where are we cutting ourselves off? Where are we shortchanging our work and not giving us this pat on the back and saying, this is the best thing I've ever made. I love it. Even if no one likes it, I love it. I'm worth loving because I matter to me. Bringing it back in. And that masculine energy would suggest to me that there's some judgment that needs to be worked through, massaged through very tenderly, not beaten with a rod and told to scram, but like really looked at and held in compassion. I'm starting a 10-day free Miracle Maker on September 2nd. So perhaps you guys would like to just join me. I'll be live on YouTube. It's a timeless manifestation course. I am working with it now, and I cannot believe it. Today, not only did I get this confirmation from a Virgo before I was set up to do Virgo's reading, which implies that I've been listening to my guidance. I was like, okay, I can't do these readings. I know it's Virgo season, but we're going to have to wait until tomorrow. And lo and behold, I get confirmation that allows for me to tune in and dial in more deeply to the message and follow my guidance to light the incense, to clean off my altar, to do all of these things that I could share with you, Virgo. But not only that, there are situations and circumstances out of my control that are putting me closely into alignment to exactly what I've been wanting. And I'm on day 10 of my own personal, I was like, let me just test it myself to see what happens. And I mean, I didn't do the steps that I'm going to have us take, but just yesterday I was watching a speaker who balances the corporate and the esoteric very well. And she spoke on goals versus intentions. And when we have intentions that are clear, Virgo, that's when they can manifest without a lot of work on our part. It's all just about the devotion to the intentions and seeing how we can show up today and take that one step forward. And perhaps that's been something that's been holding you all back, is like, if I don't do it to a T, then I failed. And I feel like we got to stop saying that, using that language. There is no failure. Vajra Kali, she's saying there is no failure. And with metamorphosis, I love this energy. She is so sexy here. Like, come on. There is no failure, Virgo. Embrace transformation. Things are now different. You are looking like this and feeling like this. Or if you don't yet, you will by the end of this week, okay? Like, you guys are going to have to come back and let me know how things go for you. There is such a beautiful energy here. I'm going to read a few of the Kali cards, and I'm just going to go quick and brief. You guys take notes if you want and see what comes through for you. Bhairavi Yogini, sublime Bhairavi, fierce with sacred rage, cannot be deceived nor deterred. She is unflinching, fearless, and determined. She causes that which is unworthy of the soul to flee and secures divine protection for the authentic soul path. Her presence empowers our hearts to face our fears and signifies that we are ready to overcome anything that has held us back. I love this. She gives the power to fulfill our heart's desires and reminds us to embrace our unique path with confidence. Go Virgo. That came out with water codes. So I would say get pensive like Harry Potter did in the, what's that? The Goblet of Fire. And get in that bath with something that makes a lot of high-pitched sound. Maybe your voice. Maybe you need to take a bath and then work on singing, some singing exercises. You can find free ones on YouTube. It's just the Singing in Paradise will actually be something that you can return to. It's something that I've done a few times now. I need to go back and do it again because now I'm in a new place and my voice is a new tool. It's a new instrument. Okay, we have Chamunda. I have blueberries in my teeth. Sorry, guys. Her unerring instinct for spiritual protection arises spontaneously, even when we do not realize we need it. Sometimes we don't realize just how far we've become entangled in that which is not good for us. We do not realize we need Kali's powerful intervention. Knowing what to allow and what to fight for or against requires wisdom. Holding the space for an inner or outer conflict to be resolved involves discipline. Chamunda is the fearlessness, wisdom, patience, and discipline needed to conquer a difficult situation. She is with you now. Okay, Krishna. And I say that something you're manifesting is coming in hot because the first few cards, it's 21, 31, 41. With the step system, those are 10 apart. There's a 10 speed pace in between each of these card codes. So to have Chamunda with the pink dolphin, it's like we've gotten so far from our joy, Virgo, and we need to reclaim it with a frenzy, like with a deliberateness. I don't want to say a frenzy, but with a deliberateness. Krishna is the sirens. There is spiritual intelligence within your soul. It's the genius of becoming, of ripening from potential into glorious manifestation. Intimate communion with your own heart will reveal what it is you truly yearn for and set the process in motion for that yearning to be satisfied. The holy fire is Kali, and she is within your soul. Follow the yearning. Seek the light. Let yourself burn bright for what inspires you, and you shall see the path to fruition clearly before you. Believe in what is meant to be. Believe and intend for the highest good of all and what is meant to be. But this is just giving me to start using your voice memo app. Start singing. Even if it's not like necessarily pretty. When did singing need to become this contest about who can make the best song? It's all in our head. It's all advertisement. Song was meant to bring us together. It's something that our ancient hominid ancestors did in caves. They had drums. They did singing, and I do believe it was with dreams. I do believe it was with honoring the cycles of the moon. Okay, rant over. Devi Ma Kali. And this is for that, take this breath like it's your first breath, and that breath of life. Endlessly loving, infinitely forgiving. She will never turn away from you. No matter what you have done, no matter how many mistakes you have made, she is here for you always. Feel the safety and sanctuary of her divine hugs. She is your soft place to fall and your kindest and most enthusiastic advocate. Let her shift your experience away from endless tasks and ever greater expectations into sweet relief and comforting connection. And this looks like Venus moving into Libra. That's your second house. I'm just going to say it there. Excuse me. It looks to me like a disseminating moon, or this could be the lunar eclipse on the 17th. So by the 17th, you might feel like a newborn. You might feel soft held and cared for. If you want to activate this breath of life as well as the nightly visits to Mount Shasta, what I did was I set a reminder in my phone around 7 p.m. so that at night I would remember. I'd be like, okay, nightly we're visiting Mount Shasta with Saint Germain to work on my ascension for the highest good of all involved. And then that breath of life, I would just say to activate during your fashion maneuvers. Okay? Chinamasta, ride the waves. Sacred severance is her radical grace. She is her soul's power to shed, survive, outgrow, and evolve. When the soul needs to separate itself from that on which it once relied, be it a view of ourselves, the world, a group, a relationship, belief system that cannot support the truths of our heart, she is the capacity, sovereignty, and courage required for self-love and self-liberation. Systems of oppression within your mind and your world will be overcome. You have the power to sever your attachment to the past and focus on inner regeneration and reorientation, healing into a path that is worthy of your heart. Yes, sacred severance. Life lessons and growth, ride the waves, you will get through this. This was that clarifying card. But also hang out with the Pisces. Or maybe they have their Venus in Pisces. Maybe they're not a Pisces sun. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, by the way. So for Virgo, that would be like an ascended master who you're connecting with. Someone who may be human. They may not be perfect, but they will have their heart in the right place. And they will show you how to match that love. It may not be a romantic counterpart. It might be a mentor. It might be someone who you're connecting with through the, like, you know, an audiobook or something like that. You know, we'll find out. You got to tell me by the end of this week. As the sun gets to, I believe, 8 degrees Virgo by the end of this week. So you'll be able to make a decision to honor yourself more than you ever have. Today, as I'm recording, the sun is at 2 degrees Virgo. So I'm just going to post these as a live premiere, but just trust that right now you're feeling this worthiness come into play and you're like, no, I need more. My price has gone up. And for those people who can't match your price, you don't even have to say that. You just show it. You just be it. You have to be it in order for it to really actually materialize. That's the secret to Virgo, is what you be is what comes. It's a literal, you see my cherry painting? It's like you will get your match based on what you give to the world. Vajra Kali and Metamorphosis. The sexy Kali. Our wild divine mother knows when to become gentle with our hearts, bestowing sweetness that liberates us from fear. Though you may have faced much struggle and challenge on your path, though it may seem only the most powerful intensity could stem the tide of negativity, the Dark Mother of Grace will conquer the obstacles to your freedom with gentleness. She manifests herself now as Vajra the Gentle. She will calm the waves and claim the waves of emotion, eradicate doubt and despair, and provide safe and graceful passage through all difficulties. And that fits perfectly for me with Metamorphosis. So one wild unknown archetype. I know this is a little long, Virgo, but you can watch this at twice the speed. We have the seed, the mask, and the gem. So I sense that there's a seed that's been planted in your heart, maybe from this reading, maybe from your recent experiences. There's a mask. You realize that you either need to put on a mask and start to play a role in your life until you believe it. That breath of life is something that I didn't believe. I said it for about 60 days every day, and by day 61 I was like, okay, I actually do love myself. I actually do honor and cherish and value myself, and I trust myself now. But you might have been wearing a mask before that we didn't realize it was a mask, that was like, I don't value myself. I need someone else to value me before I'm worthy of it. And it's just things that have been, if you all are projectors with human design, I'm a projector, we are very susceptible to brainwashing. So it's important to clear out those chakras before bed. There are many modalities that we can use before we go to sleep to clear out our energy. One of them is 3 breaths in of light. I practice my mudras sometimes at night. I've been practicing mudras now for about a month. I'm so happy. I think that there's a lot of tips and tricks that we have to just seize the moment when we feel inspired. For me, it was watching a movie called Ninja Assassin, and the guy like heals himself from a bunch of samurai sword cuts, and I was like, I have to learn those mudras, and I found on YouTube someone teaching them. It's just so simple as having an open mind, that beginner's mind, taking that breath like it's your first breath, filling up the lungs there and letting it go. Be oceanic, Virgo. I think that there's a need to maybe visit the ocean this week, or go see a movie about the ocean, or watch a movie about the ocean. I know that there's a lot on Netflix for those of you guys who have that. If not, YouTube has plenty. And I do believe in watching content from different places that can activate our astrocartography. The gem, I think this speaks to something within you that you're seeing maybe for the first time. Let's pull from the Goddess Power. You guys got a great reading for your birthday. I hope that you love it. And you know, that siren quality, that siren card could be that you want to just share a podcast and you are going to be the siren, the wake-up call for many people to come into something. Like, it could be a podcast about cooking. It could be anything, but there's a part of you that needs to be shared. It needs to be expressed, and it doesn't matter how many people get it right now. It's just going to be something that grows over time with value. We have Oshun, just generosity. So it's funny, I've been consuming a lot of lemons, like not a normal amount of lemons. I probably have like up to 6 to 8 lemons a day, but like probably more than that. I'm just being modest. Oshun has a bunch of lemons around her, and she is the goddess of the ocean, Mama Oshun, ocean. So I think you guys are going to need to take a trip to the ocean. Excuse me, maybe have some sinus lemonade. And our sacred symbol. What does Virgo need to know for this week of rebirth? Are we going to get a sacred symbol? Well, let's just see. Oh, we got jealousy. So the best way to protect ourselves from someone else's jealousy, there's a 23 here. That feels really pertinent. We're going to look at, there might have been something that came up on the 23rd, which was Friday, yesterday, around jealousy. Just maybe, get an evil eye bracelet or return to sender. That's been something that has been very effective to me. This is a energetic protection mechanism for my empaths. We cord cut, we do all of that, but what we can do best is, we've all done the bubble, right? Where we envelop ourselves in a bubble of white light. But for protection, you want to encase yourself within that bubble in either a pyramid of mirrors, or, it came to me in meditation, a Merkaba of mirrors, which is just 2 pyramids. And on the outside of the Merkaba that you're encased in, it's all glass. It's all just a mirror reflecting back the energy out to people so that they can see themselves, and that you're held in this, inside of this, a bubble of golden light, golden white light, so that people's jealousy doesn't get to you. And here's the pyramid, just in case you need a model. Just imagine that it's a mirror on the outside, and on the inside, white light, golden light, so that you are totally in your heart. And if you have jealousy towards another, understand that that can actually be your motivation. It could be a tool that serves you to aspire to something, rather than be envious of it and need to criticize it and need to critique it and need to ask, why do they get that and I don't? that energy is very 3D and even 2D. We are going towards 5D where it's like, oh, they have that, I can have it too. I can claim it for me, and it's going to be that much more mine because it's something that I'm creating for myself. And I've been watching a lot of like runway shows and inspiring myself with what great minds have come together to achieve, and understanding that that's also for me too. Okay, I'm going to give one final sweep to the chart. So today, the 24th, the sun has started at 1 degree Virgo, and the moon being in your ninth house, Virgo, I sense it's going to set you up to believe in a better lifestyle. And we have both Chiron in the North Node in your 8th house. So that's your house of the superpowers. And right now you guys are, that 23, that's where the 23 is. This sense of jealousy might be coming from your Chiron wound, or there could be an Aries person in your life who's activated some sense of jealousy. But to get to the heart of the matter and to unearth it is to get into your joy, to focus on you, bring it back into you, focus on what you need in the moment. You might just need to go to the bathroom. You might need a shower. You might need a jog, but there is a level of self-shepherding that has to be done to get out of this energy of jealousy. And when you're in the shower, you can envision it as like blue light, purple light. You can call upon Saint Germain to work with you and heal your heart of any sort of envy that's either being projected onto you or that might be unconsciously being sent out, because this is an 8th house matter with Chiron at 23 degrees in your 8th house. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Mars is also on the 25th. That is on Sunday tomorrow. Excuse me. When the sun gets to 3 degrees Virgo. Mars at 23 degrees Gemini, that is forming it's a square of energy. So there's forced growth, and it may be uncomfortable, but we are growing. And that's the most important thing to focus on, Virgo, is the growth factor. On the 25th, just watch out for growth. And I would even say you might have to nurture yourself into this growth and, take one small step. Honor, trust, love, protect, value, encourage, motivate yourself for reasons of joy, unbridled joy. Virgo, join me for the 10-day Miracle Manifester. For those of my Virgos just tuning in, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so that you're notified for when I go live. And my subscribers, thank you so much for being here. It means so much to me that you all are here with me as I share my messages and honor my gifts. I look forward to our next reading, Virgo. Catch me live tomorrow, Sunday, for all 12 signs in the week ahead, where I will dive deeper into the astrology. I will see you all next time. Until then, aloha.